There's not a lot of Warrior fans who are optimistic right now.
Is this the rejoin for welcome back to Draymond getting another suspension? Is that what that is?
Welcome back to being off the floor.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to the podcast life. I don't
Welcome back, Bonte.
Welcome back.
Took the day off, and now you got Draymond Green to respond.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
No, it's a tough day yesterday. I was out.
Yeah.
Shasky's out today.
I'm sure he'll have thoughts tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. But, obviously, one of my cousins passed away, and this is why, honestly, not to spin it here and take us down this road, but, go get checked up. Go to your doctors every 6 months, every 4 months, whatever you got to do. Because, unfortunately, my cousin left this earth. He's got 4 kids plus 2 stepdaughters and had a blocked artery in his heart. Had a blocked artery, and it sucks. And so all day yesterday was with family. So I took the day off of radio and TV.
Good for you.
I'm sure people like that. Kind of got tired of me here.
What?
95.7 The Game on television.
No, we had Laura last night. Laura's great.
It needed a break for me. But no, seriously, the soda diet was so beneficial for me. I know we made a lot of fun, but health is wealth, man. You want to sit, my cousin's not going to be able to be at his daughter's middle school graduation, And so when I think about people growing old, and baby Chaz is fortunate to have her great-grandma, Bablik, and she's 86 years old, and able to see that through and live a long time. It's important, man. So health is wealth, man. Be careful with your diets. Get your checkups, man. Seriously, there's too many people leaving this earth, especially during the holidays, Spadone.
I never knew either of my grandfathers. Both my grandmas, they lived until their late 80s, early 90s, but I didn't know either of my grandpas, and both of them smoked their entire lives. Yeah. So, just take care of your body.
Take care of your body, man. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. So, anyway, that's why I was out yesterday. But everybody at the funeral they want to talk Warriors. Leave me alone. Let's honor my cousin Antonio Johnson. And they want to talk Dubs. And it's the same questions. What's up with Klay? What's up with Wiggins? Is Draymond going to stay on the floor? We're tired of Draymond. We're tired of Draymond. That overshadowed. Look, I'm not exonerating Andrew Wiggins for 1 of 7 from the floor at 3 points. I'm not exonerating Klay Thompson, who has struggled more times than not this season. And we know who he is. And now you got the report that Shams Charania is saying that the Warriors had a 2-year, $48 million deal on the table for Klay before the season. Well, now that deal's off the table. It's gone.
That's surprising to me. What did Klay think he was at this point?
I don't know.
He ended the season so poorly. I understand he's these guys are wired differently than I am. They're wired differently than anyone else because they've been at the best. They've been at the top of their craft their entire lives, Bonte. Klay Thompson grew up in this. His dad was part of the Showtime Lakers. He grew up watching Kobe, watching Shaq, watching everyone. And he got into the NBA and had very quick success. And all he has known in his whole career is winning.
Yep.
So this has got to be a very humbling part of his life these last 2 seasons, especially how it ended last year. And last night.
The first time he's ever been benched at crunch time, Spinodi, it finally happened. And you know what?
Says it all.
Look, to me, it's never been about who starts. I've been consistent with this. It's about who finishes. And yesterday, Klay found out he wasn't finishing, and he threw a hissy fit on the sideline.
I think that hurt more.
Anthony Slater, we'll replay that sound in just a second. We'll flip that sound with Anthony Slater, what he said about Klay Thompson. But Klay, after the game, he kind of said, hey, look, man, I played like crap. I trust Steve. But no, I was not happy. But boy, hearing that from Slater, because I did not see that on the broadcast, and I got the iPad in just looking back at the Draymond situation. Well, I got to go back and look at Klay. See if there's another angle of Klay Thompson. Because that's not good, folks. That's not good. Here's Shams Charania from The Athletic on Klay Thompson's extension.
And Klay Thompson, 2 of 10 last night, 1 of 8 from 3. I think we all believe he deserves an opportunity just to see this through, and he should have limitless, opportunity to try to figure it out, get out of this rut. But his future's been in question. We talked about on the eve of the season, they're not close on a contract extension when they were discussing one before the start of the season. I'm told that the Warriors offered a deal, 2 years in the range of $48 million in an extension to Klay Thompson before the season. And now there's no deal. We're into the season. He's going to play it out. They're going to play it out. And we saw last night, Jonathan Kuminga played a lot. Brandon Podziemski played a lot.
Oh, sure.
Could we see? Could this be, as much as we all want to see the Warriors and their vets get a chance to ride this out to the sunset?
Absolutely.
We're seeing 2 young players start to play more, and I think it's interesting.
Very interesting from Shams.
Pajemski, by the way, Shams.
Pajemski.
Not Pazemski.
Pazemski?
Come on.
Pajemski.
Polish pride here. Come on. Let's get it right.
Pajemski.
But I heard something interesting there at the start of it. Did you hear that? That he should have limitless run to try to.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's how you sync your organization.
At the expense of what exactly? The organization?
No, this is what I do. I know people are going to call me an apologist for this, but I will say this. Before last night, in his last 9 games, Klay was trending up. Now, what is up for him? Being a third or fourth option.
Can only go up.
Being serviceable.
Yeah.
Can only go up. But in the previous 9 games, going into last night was all-time bad. 2 of 10, 1 of 8 from 3. Just couldn't play defense, blowing assignments, bad shot. Klay was just unplayable, which is why he didn't play in the fourth quarter or in crunch time. But Klay Thompson, 18.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists. 40% from the floor, 38% from the three-point line. So it was getting a little better. And I thought OKC, he was better than the Portland game. Now, there's going to be some games mixed in here where he goes Portland, 3 of 13, 11 points. But he had a good stretch here. He had a good stretch here where he scored at least 15.
I'm expecting stinkers occasionally with Klay Thompson.
Occasionally
you're going to get those with him.
So those stinkers, you look back, OKC 5 of 13, 16 points, 7 of 16 against the Houston Rockets, 20, 8 of 17 against Phoenix, 23, 3 of 11 against against San Antonio, 15, 6 of 14 against Sac, 20 points, 8 of 18 against the Clippers, 22, 5 of 13 against the Clippers, 17. Then he had stinker against Portland, and he had the stinker last night.
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with Kerr saying, you know what? You're not good. You're not good. You're not playing.
Stick with it, Steve. If I'm a fan right now, I'm like, you know what? It needs to be more cutthroat going forward.
40% from the floor is not good, though.
No, it's
not good at all.
It's not.
Not good at all.
And if you're Klay Thompson right now and you're hearing this news get leaked, and we all remember it was during the Kings series that I think it was Woj, the max deal. Right. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting Klay Thompson and his camp won a max deal. And this is in a series, by the way, in which Klay wasn't playing that well in. And then he goes on to have the worst series in the history of his career in Los Angeles. Yep. Not the best, bargaining chip, if you will, Bonte, when you're trying to get a deal done. And no doubt. One is, if he's betting on himself, it's failing.
Well, you know what?
Way.
For Klay, I think, for Klay, he needs to be in a situation where he's got guys around him that could create shots for him. Losing Jordan Poole, where you don't have anybody outside of Steph, you got nobody who could break their man off the dribble.
Wiggins ain't doing it. Looney's not doing it. Draymond's getting ejected.
He's a floor spacing role player at this point, which he can have another 5 years in his career if he's just on the 3-point line shooting open shots. If the Lakers could make Cam Reddish serviceable and LeBron James, then they can make Klay Thompson serviceable.
Cam has got his name back because of the Lakers. He used to be Scam Reddish. Right. He's going back to Cam right now.
I look at a situation like that. I look at a situation like Milwaukee. He needs guys around him at this point of his career. In this situation with the Golden State Warriors, he's getting exposed for who he is at this point. Let's take some calls, Spadone. We got a lot of people on hold.
We got full lines.
Let's go to the phones. A lot of people been holding on hold. Thanks for the patience, everybody. Let's start off with Anthony and Benicia. Then we'll get to St. Louis for Cato Cal. Anthony, what's happening?
Top of the morning, Chill Hill and Spaghetti. So I got a couple of things. One, when it comes to Klay, it's just a combination of injuries and age. Like 33 and 34 isn't old by normal human standards, but it is when it comes to the NBA. And then you couple that with 2 catastrophic injuries, this is what you're going to get. Yeah. Jamal Crawford said something on the broadcast, I think right before the game started. He said that this is the least amount of spacing that he's seen the Warriors have. And so we said this last season in the playoffs, and we're saying it again. Klay needs spacing. And so, unfortunately, this is the byproduct of it when you don't have people that can create their own shot. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that if Kerr tweaks the lineup more consistently, you can play Klay with some guys that can space, because Pajemski and Moody, Pajemski can create more than Moody, but both of them are a threat to score, so that will benefit Klay. The other thing I want to say is Wiggins, I know that we don't want to talk about the shot and stuff like that, but I remember he was very, very he didn't want to get the vaccine shot, and I believe that he was kind of forced into it. I have no idea if that's playing a role now, But I think when you think about some of the things that he's been through over the last 2 seasons, it can all just be coming ahead because he doesn't seem very motivated. And we all know that Jordan Poole was his road dog. And I think when you just combine all those things, he just might not want to be here anymore. And we don't know how he feels about Draymond Green on a personal level. He's very professional and he's already really quiet. So maybe that's just, this is just how he responds to stuff that he doesn't like.
Well, they did. Then, Anthony, not to cut you off, I'll let you finish, but they did win a championship the year he took the vaccine, right?
He did, but I know that remember when he was like, man, I don't like, it's my choice. And he came out and said like, I didn't want to do it, but eventually I just think he felt the pressure of doing it. And so like in the moment when you win the championship, all is forgiven. Right. But I think when you look at that punch, man, I know people don't want to talk about it much, but they keep talking about this black cloud. And I don't think it's gone because part of that black cloud is Draymond Green. And for whatever you want to think about Dre, I'll leave my comments about Dre alone because I have my own personal feelings about him. He is part of that black cloud. And just because you get rid of Jordan Poole, that doesn't mean that the negativity that punch brought is gone. So I kind of want to give kudos for Steve Kerr for deciding and going with, you know what, I'm sitting these guys because in the words of Shannon Sharp, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you earn. Mm-hmm. And those young guys have earned the chance to play. And I think he needs to stick with that if he wants to continue to be a coach here.
No doubt.
Good call.
Good call, Anthony. Good call. I like that with Steve Kerr yesterday.
Yeah.
Forget the patience. I've been patient enough.
He can't be. He's looking at his own head coaching career in jeopardy right now. Like, and he'd get opportunities, but I'm saying this year, he's coaching for his job. And also, a lot of these guys on this team right now, and we use this kind of jokingly here at the station because the whole legacy season.
Yeah.
But a lot of legacies are kind of at stake right now.
Well,
when you look at them right now, and legacy's strong, but like the future of their careers, they're kind of looking like, if I'm Klay Thompson right now, if I'm Steve Kerr.
Here's how I look at it, because I think you bring up a good point. Steph's legacy cemented.
Yes.
4 championships, finals. Steph's Teflon. He's the top 10 player of all time. It's Teflon. Klay Thompson is always going to be the what if because of the injuries. Now, is his legacy? No, he helped win the 4th championship, and he played the most minutes during that postseason. I think Klay will be elevated through that sense. And I think a lot of Warrior fans will look at Klay Thompson this last year and a half and say, you know what? The injuries caught up to him. He was never the same.
Yeah.
We get it. Draymond's legacy is the one I think is, were you part of the core? Could we have won championships without you? Now, I don't believe the Warriors could have won championships without him. I truly don't. But Draymond's going to be, when it's all said and done, fans are going to look at him and say, well, he helped run Kevin Durant out of town. Whether or not that's true or not, we don't know, but fans are going to look at it like that.
Correct.
Jordan Poole, we don't need to say much about that. We know what happened there. We know what happened with some of the other young guys yelling at. He got kicked out of a game for yelling at James Wiseman, his own teammate. He got kicked out of a game for yelling at his own teammate for crying out loud. And not to mention the shenanigans that's happened in the playoffs. And he gets $100 million, and you're thinking, boy, you signed back up for this guy. And he said it was the most important season of his career, and he's impacted 11 of the 23 games that they've played so far due to injury, personal reasons, suspension, or ejections.
I mean, they rewarded the guy.
That's the guy, Spadone.
They rewarded the guy after he punched his own teammate in the face. Right. And after it was a dumpster fire of a season that he caused. He was the dark cloud. The dark cloud still remains on this team. So to Anthony and Benisha's point, that's the problem.
Well, that's your point when you're talking about legacies being on the line.
Yes.
If we want to play that game. Yeah. Steph, fine.
No,
Klay, people will have the caveat saying, well, we know what happened with Klay. We know what happened with Klay.
It's Wiggins and Draymond right now.
Well, Wiggins has just lost all the love he got. He flipped the narrative. He flipped the narrative during the NBA Finals. And in the first 15, 20 games, whatever it was last year before he suffered the adductor strain, Wiggins was fine. It was like, wow, look at Andrew Wiggins. Fans were starting to love Andrew Wiggins more than they ever loved Kevin Durant. Think about that.
That's a fact.
Think about that.
You know what we were saying? This was Warriors basketball, Bonte. This is a real Warriors basketball.
They were loving Andrew Wiggins more than they were loving Kevin Durant.
That's wild.
And here we are a year and a half later. And we don't know what happened due to the personal reasons. He missed 2 months last year. But some fans are saying, boy, you missed 2 months last year. And this is what we're getting this year? He's averaging 12 points a game.
He scored 3 points last night. And you said, what, 7 points in his last 7 quarters?
7.5 quarters.
Oh, my God.
He had 8 in the first quarter against OKC. He scored 4 the rest of the way, plus the overtime.
How do you
right now? Who's a better player, Wiggins or Kuminga?
How do you justify starting this guy if I'm Steve Kerr this long?
That to me has been a bigger issue.
Like that's like Moses Moody is playing his ass off. Jonathan Kuminga, yeah, he makes mistakes, playing his ass off. Brandon Pajemski playing his ass off. Like I'm sorry, sooner or later you're just trying to make the playoffs or play-in tournament.
No doubt.
And these guys are costing them.
Let's go to Ken Opener Cal in St. Louis. Ken Opener Cal, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up,
First of all, let me give a shout out to Drew Down and to you, Bonte. Let me give you my condolences on losing your family member like that, man. You know we love you, man. We always will. But let me go ahead and go red light and keep everything real, man, because I feel like if Steve Kerr was coaching the Lakers along with LeBron James, would he had a job after a year? I just want y'all to answer that real quick.
No, probably not.
Okay, then. You cannot say that we don't have no bigs on this team. That's a big deal. That's why they're getting beat. This is basketball. All the CEOs of all these other teams, the executives, they want bigs and stuff. They say they want to start off with a big. You cannot say we don't have a big and don't make a big deal about that. And then we're having the same trouble that we had same last year. Steve Kerr said after the last game that they lost, not the Phoenix game, the last game that they lost, he said we got to be better as coaches. He said that last year. When I'm sitting up here trying to tell y'all, stop it with the trade talks. Steve Coach ain't tradable. Ain't no other team going to want Steve Coach, and ain't nobody going to want to come play for the Warriors because the Warriors is centered around Steph Curry. Don't nobody want to play that. They want to be able to play freely like all these young guys are doing. Look what Houston doing and stuff like that. Our young guys showed Steve Kerr when they was playing New Orleans what they was. I told y'all then that Steve Kerr need to start these boys, and they'll do something good, and then he'll start the next game doing the same thing. And then everybody's talking about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson scored 20-something points last game. Yeah. Why is everybody talking about Klay? Every time something goes wrong, they're talking about Klay. When everything was going bad with the 49ers, they went after that coach, but yet and still Steve Kerr's under the witness protection program. What happened to the world team, the USA team, when he coached them? They lost because he wants to play small ball guys that don't work. Ain't nobody scared of the Warriors, Bonte.
Yeah, no, that fear factor's gone. That fear factor's gone, Ken Opener Cal. You got anything else to cook on, Ken Opener Cal?
Man, I don't want to say is y'all said that Draymond Green is the second best player. Y'all said that about Chris Paul a few weeks ago. Looney ain't scored nothing. Wiggins ain't scored nothing, and nobody else can do it. Who the biggest player next to Steph Curry on the game? It's still Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson got trade value. He shouldn't have to settle for $24 million when Draymond Green is getting $25 for 4 years. Make that make sense, man. And Draymond Green's supposed to be the second best player when he couldn't even score when Klay was out the game for 3 years. What was Draymond doing then? Draymond couldn't score nothing. There was a lottery team. You understand what I'm getting to? There was a lottery team. Draymond Green don't do nothing but bring a big cloud over this team. I'm tired of it, y'all.
Yeah. No,
the dark cloud is still lingering. Wow. Color me shocked.